A lonely, wealthy single woman strutted into the supermarket like a proud cat. But she wasn't there to shop for groceries. She was looking for a romantic encounter, and fate didn't disappoint her. In front of the vegetable aisle, she met a man who radiated a refreshing charm. A man who buys groceries at 6 in the morning is surely more reliable than those smooth talkers in late-night bars. Annie felt a surge of excitement. His presence seemed to brighten the entire supermarket. But little did she know, this seemingly ordinary encounter would completely change her life. Annie took the initiative to strike up a conversation, and after just a few exchanges, they confirmed that they were both single. Blake was captivated by Annie's lively and playful energy. There was no way he was going to let this opportunity slip away.
How about coffee?
I can do coffee.
They had breakfast together and set a date for Thursday night. Everything seemed too perfect, and Annie was so thrilled she couldn't help but dance with joy. But behind her seemingly perfect life, Annie carried a secret no one knew. Just moments ago, she was flirting in the supermarket, full of life and energy. Now, as if someone had flipped a switch, her world dimmed. It was like she had suddenly run out of battery, her body drained of all motivation. The vibrant, carefree girl from earlier had disappeared, replaced by someone trapped in a deep melancholy. She lay in bed, motionless, for days. Then, right on schedule, Blake called for their date. For someone else, going on a date with a man she liked would have been exciting. But for Annie, it felt like dragging a lifeless body to an event she had once looked forward to. When Blake gave her a gift, she barely reacted, slipping it into her pocket with a blank expression. The girl sitting across from him felt nothing like the radiant, cheerful woman he had met. She looked like she was on the verge of tears the entire time. Confused, Blake asked what was wrong. Annie brushed it off, saying she had a cold. And just like that, what could have been a magical evening turned into an absolute disaster. This terrifying cycle had been part of Annie's life since she was 15. One day, she suddenly found herself unable to get out of bed. What she thought would pass in a few hours stretched into weeks. Her parents assumed she was sick. At school, Annie could laugh, chat, and appear full of life, but the moment she returned to her room, she curled into herself, shutting out the entire world. She thought as long as she hid the depressed side of her and only showed people the perfect version, everything would be fine. But one by one, she kept losing the people who entered her life. One moment, she was in heaven. The next, she was in hell, never truly existing in between. That was the cruel reality of living with bipolar disorder.